Gosh, that's a big build-up, isn't it, really? Thank you, Lauren, very much. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me tonight. And I'd like to say congratulations to Shine on all you're doing. I personally don't believe there's a more important job in society than educating our young people. And Chris, I'm so glad there was a main course between you and me, because I could not have followed that. It was magnificent. So thank you very much. You were so inspirational. I started off life very much like so many people, loving my sport, a real sporty kid. And then I went to college to train as a physical education teacher. Not really, if I'm really honest, because I had a mission for teaching, but rather that I thought I could have 3 years of playing sport, which I did. I was an England international athlete, an England international netball player. And then I came to Manchester and taught in Moss Side. And if my passion in life is sport, my mission in life was revealed to me here in Moss Side, and I will never forget it. It was a tough school. We'd just gone comprehensive. It was a grammar school joined up with a local secondary modern school. And the young people there were ranging from grammar school children with academic standards through to 4O, 4N, and 4M, and you can work out where they were and things. They were struggling. They were young people with massive challenges. And I thought my job was to teach netball and hockey and tennis and athletics and gymnastics and dance. But thanks to those young people, I worked out something fundamentally much more important. That education isn't about the subject. It's about connecting with young people and helping them grow, and just like Riley grew with his maths. So I'm going to tell you one story, which I think captures for me what Shine really represents. And this is a story of a 14, 15-year-old group of young women, 4O, and my first day of teaching in Moss Side. I'd done all the Verucas, by the way, which took 2 weeks. But anyway, we got to classes eventually. Horrible. But anyway, so we had, I had 4O. And I waited in the gym, and there I was, shoes clean, tracksuit polished, you know. I looked the thing, bag of netballs, lesson plan, I'm ready. Bell goes, no one. I think, crikey, I'm in the wrong school or the wrong place. Young teacher, I panic, I run up the corridor. I hear this noise in the girls' toilet, and I think, no, go to the timetable. No, go to the toilets. No, go to the timetable. And I went to the toilets. And in there were 15 black young women. These were young women who'd been written off by our education system. They were losers. 3 of them had police, police records, and they were really the cast-outs of our school. I didn't know any of that, by the way. I walked in, and they were standing having a fag in the toilet. Now, nowhere in 3 years of teacher training did anybody tell me what you did when you walked in on a group of 14, 15-year-olds all having a cigarette. And I felt really faint. And I slid and sat on the floor. And over came the biggest girl of the group. I'll call her Clara. She wasn't her name. And she stood over me. And I sat on the floor, and I remember distinctly thinking, my first day of teaching, and I'm going to die. And she looked at me and she said, you look awful, would you like a fag? And I looked back up and I said, no, I don't smoke, actually. And then they all started to sit on the floor with me. And I have no idea what happened in those few minutes, but there was some kind of connection. Chris will understand this. There was a kind of connection. And I started to talk to them and ask them what they did. I wished I hadn't, really, because they told me everything they did. But one of the things they loved to do was go clubbing. So I asked them, do you dance? And they said, yeah, we dance. And they all got up and started rocking. Well, forgive me, but I got up and joined in. And now we're all rocking in a toilet with them all with fags. And I'm thinking, if the head teacher walks in, my career is completely shattered. And I said to the group, okay, well, next week, you come down to the gym, I'll bring the ghetto blaster, you bring the music, I'll shut the doors and you can dance. And they said, are you serious? I said, yeah. Soon you were in there doing that and having a cigarette. Sure enough, that happened for 3 weeks, and I sat on a group of mats at the end preparing my lesson plans. And at the end of 3 weeks, Clara came over to me and said to me, we're bored. I said, I'm hardly surprised. And she said, could we form a dance group? Well, you can imagine what went through my mind. I said, I'm not too sure. What kind of dance group do you have in mind? And she said, oh, they have dance competitions all over Manchester. I said, okay, well, let's go to a couple. So we went and watched. And I said, do you think you can teach the others how to do this? She said, yeah. I said, because I can't. This young woman was probably a better teacher than I'll ever be. She was amazing. This was the villain of the school. This was the kid with no hope. This was the kid written off by everybody. And in the course of the next few weeks, I began to get books and things together so that she could look at how she could construct her dances. And she came down one day and I gave her these books and she threw them at me using quite interesting language. And I said, what on earth's the matter with you? And she said, you think I can read? I said, you can't read? She said, no. I said, you're 14. And she said, I know, but I can't read. I said, okay, well, here's the deal. You develop the dance group, I'll teach you to read. And every lunchtime she came down, she'd show me what she wanted to do, I'd show what the words were, and we'd work together. She developed the best dance group in the whole of Manchester. She won every single competition that you can think of. And at the end of all of that, she decided she wanted to go back to school. She didn't go back to school where I was. She went on to FE college. She trained, she learnt, and she became a matron in one of the hospitals here in Manchester. Remember where she started? We'd written her off. I don't believe any child should be left behind. I don't believe any child wakes up in the morning and thinks, how can I terrorize everyone else? How can I disrupt what goes on? I think they wake up every morning wanting to belong so much, wanting to feel valued, wanting to feel like somebody cares, wanting to feel that actually they matter. That's what you saw with Riley. That's what we saw with Clara. And what Shine is doing is putting a light on those young people. And it's helping us to give everybody something Gary talked at the beginning about, which is hope. You know, of all the things I've done in my life, the one thing that's made a biggest difference in every job I've done, and even in the one I do now, is the belief that we can make things better in this world. I started off really as a young person with a love of sport. But what has been my golden thread throughout my life is that I believe individuals can change lives. And I believe when you get on a common mission, there is nothing, I mean nothing, that we can't change. And our children's education is the most important thing that all of us can get behind. So congratulations to Shine. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you'll go away tonight and really think about how each of us can make a difference in the lives of the children that are around us. Thank you very much.